So straight away we'll begin with Cei Stock, Kamba Energy Inc. It is up 2.19% in this pre-market session of the 18th of October 2021, has gained $0.04 and has been moving sideways all through this pre-market session, even though it has inched up slightly. It did inch up slightly and has just since moved sideways at the same time, also just cooling off slightly. Momentum is indicating it's not overbought. RSI is indicating that's also the case. Just moving sideways at the moment, just moving sideways, not very much there. Very active, very active. There has been one of the most active stock for more than 2 weeks now. It's unbelievable. Kamba Energy up 2.92% in this pre-market session of the 18th of October 2021. Obviously, we haven't checked whether there's any news, but there is usually no news. It's just that people are involved in Kamba Energy and they will not give up. That is probably the news. They're just there. They're not giving up. So it's crazy, really crazy. But yes, one of the most active stocks out there, has been for some time. So let's quickly have a look and see what's going on with Prog stock.
We're in 2021.
Okay, Prog, okay, it's up 5.61%, strongly bullish on this 1 minute time, on this 1 minute live model. Momentum is indicating that it's overbought, so it might cool off or it may not. It may remain in that trend. RSI is also strong, not as overbought as the momentum is indicating. This is the 1 minute model, so this is obviously indicating what's going on live now. The market hasn't opened, so you have to probably rely to a great extent rely on this, the 1 minute chart, and to give you an idea of what's going on. Let's see whether we have any movement in the 10-minute charts. Yes, we do. I think we do. Okay, yes, it's the 10 minute is indicating some activity. 5 minutes has to also do so. Yes, so 5 minutes is indicating. So let's just keep it at 1 minute. Let's see if there's any news out there concerning Prog stock. Okay. Why the price substantially increased this past week? So may not exactly be news. It's just an analysis of what's going on with the stock. Okay, there might still be some news out in there. Okay, and it's increased by 56% in the past week. Okay, yeah, it's announced this patent and all that, so there isn't any. I think we all know that. We all know about all that, so there isn't any fresh news concerning Prog. So the stock is strongly bullish. Has been on the move. Okay, this is the pre-market. Okay, let's see. I think it includes the post-market as well. Okay, it's the pre-market and the post-market. So probably this is okay. Let's see where we picked up this pre-market from. Okay, so this is where the pre-market started. It suddenly spiked. So yeah, so let's just keep it with the pre-market and see what's going on there. It spiked and has even continued to extend further. So let's see what's going on next. Okay, with Fcel energy. Fcel is up 7.04%. It also spiked in this pre-market and has since continued to move sideways, but has now broken through the short and intermediate moving averages, and indeed the volume weighted average price, I think. Yes, volume weighted average price. So it's trading below them now, cooling off, losing some steam. Momentum, as you can see, it's indicating the stock is oversold at the moment, oversold. So there's every chance there's no guarantee that it will suddenly spike up again. It may continue to retrace, but also expect that it will also extend because it's currently oversold. This is just a 1 minute live model. It is at this sort of point that market participants begin to consider whether to get involved and all that stuff. So you can see now it's down to 6.9%, which is the gain it has had so far. So let's see whether we can see whether Plug Power is also doing the same thing, because we know Fcel energy tends to draw sympathy from Plug Power. Okay, Plug Power is not reflecting any of those gains, so we just ignore Plug Power and move on to BITF. BITF, Bitfarms, is up 2.04%. I think Bitfarms is a Bitcoin mining stock. It equally spiked, and when the pre-market opened, reached this high of 5.7244, has since started to trace. Now I'm trading below all of its short and intermediate moving average, but still above the 200-day moving average. The momentum is indicating the stock is totally oversold. RSI is also indicating some weakness, some reasonable amount of weakness. It's down into oversold territory on that RSI. Obviously this is for the 1 minute live model for Bitfarms. So let's look at VALN. Valneva SE is up 36%. Okay, suddenly spiked in this pre-market session as well, and has since also cooled off a bit, but still holding up so much of those gains. It run up. So now trading below all of its short and intermediate moving averages based on this 1 minute live model. Okay, the momentum is indicating that there isn't anything left, totally sold out there now. The RSI is also indicating some weakness as well. So there might be some news out there concerning VALN. Let's see if we can find out what it is. Yes, if you just joined us, thank you very much. Like, share, and subscribe. If you have any stock you want us to have a look at, just leave it there and we'll just have a look at it. Okay, Valneva is, I think it's a biotech stock. Okay, it's a French biotech stock. Said it's a coronavirus candidate, outperformed AstraZeneca's case in a trial. Okay, so that's we'll get more of that later on. More of what's going on with VALN. So let's have a look and see what's going on with Nlst. Netlists. Okay, there isn't any activity there for Netlist. So let's look at HUT. HUT is down 1.15%, trading below all of its moving averages, including the volume weighted average price. Momentum is also, it's indicating the stock is oversold. The RSI is also indicating, yes, that there is some weakness as well. So let's look at MARA, Marathon Digital. It's down 0.45%. Thanks for joining us. Like, share, and subscribe. If you have any stock you want us to have a look at, put it in the comment box and we'll just have a look at it. So we're looking at Marathon Digital. Marathon is obviously a Bitcoin mining stock, and Bitcoin has reached 61,000 and rising, I believe. So they will always, these sort of stocks will always react to that, but for some reason they are not, they're good enough now. They're in the red at the moment. So it's getting support. Okay, suddenly spiking up now in the positive suddenly as well. Broke through all of its 10 and all of its short intermediate moving averages. This is based on the 1 minute live model of what's going on. So let's quickly look at Riot. Right, also another Bitcoin mining stock. The Riot is up 0.32%. So we have a couple of Bitcoin mining ETFs. Let's see if we can see what's going on with them. Okay, Grayscale, yes, BCHG. Okay, there isn't any activity at the moment. Grayscale Cash. Okay, there isn't any activity there, but we just have volumes there, 1081. Let's see whether we can have a look and see what happened in the previous session. As it concerns its volume, thrown off at 7,305. Not so wonderful. Yes, if you just join us, thank you very much. If you have any stock you want us to have a look at, go ahead and put it in the comment box. We'll look at it. So we're looking at Kamba Energy, Prog, Fcel, Bitf, Valn, Nlst, Hut, Mara, Riot, and indeed any other one you want us to have a look at. So see, Kamba Energy is up 2.19%. Obviously, it has been one of the most active stocks for the last 2 weeks. There isn't really any news at the moment, I think, but still on the radar, still there. Market participants are not giving up on the stock. So currently it is just trading slightly above its 200-day moving average based on this 1 minute live model. It's just inched downwards now, getting support from that 200-day moving average. Okay, momentum is also holding up given the weakness. I think is it oversold? I think it's in the oversold territory now, but the RSI is still showing some strength. Okay, so let's have a look at Progenity. Progenity is up 4.67%. Let's see, did we find out if there's any news concerning Progenity? Let's go ahead and see whether there's any news. Prog, Progenity. Okay, yes, we did. It's just an analysis, not exactly news as such. So let's look at Fcel Energy. I don't think we looked for any news concerning Fcel Energy. Fcel is up 6.49%. So let's see whether there's any news behind this rally. Okay. Okay, it seems it is an upgrade, I think. Let's see. Fcel Energy receives consensus recommendation of hold from brokerages. Fcel Energy has been given a recommendation of hold by 7 rating firms that are currently covering the firm. According to reports, 2 equities research analysts have rated the stock with a sell recommendation, 4 have issued a hold recommendation, and 1 has issued a buy recommendation on the company. The average 1-year price objective among analysts that have issued their ratings on the stock in the last year is $8.4. Okay, Fcel has been the topic of several analyst reports. Zack Investment Research raised Fcel Energy from a hold rating to a buy and set a $7 price objective on the stock in a research note on Friday, the 17th of September. B. Riley dropped the target price on Fcel Energy from $10 to $8 and set a neutral rating for the company in a research report on Wednesday, September 15th, 2021. They noted that the move was a valuation call. Shares of Fcel opened is it today at $7.39. Let's see whether it's today. Okay, I think it's today, Monday the 18th of October. Fcel has a 12-month low of 1.98 and a 12-month high of 29.44. The company has a current ratio of 4.37, a quick ratio of 3.32. Okay, so I think it's some analyst ratings there. Okay, several hedge funds and other institutional investors have recently made changes to their positions in the stock. BlackRock boosted its holdings in shares of Fcel Energy by 34% in the second quarter. BlackRock now owns 31.928 million shares of the energy company's stock, valued at $284.161 million, after purchasing an additional 8.092 million shares during the period. Vanguard Group Inc. boosted its holdings in shares of Fcel Energy by 30.8% in the second quarter. Vanguard Inc. now owns 28.628 million shares of Fcel Energy, valued at $254.793 million, after purchasing an additional 6.739 million shares during the same period. Renaissance Technology LLC boosted its holdings in shares of Fcel Energy by 303.4% in the second quarter. Renaissance Technology LLC now owns 5.863 million shares of Fcel Energy, valued at 52.183 million shares, after purchasing an additional 4.409 million shares during the same period. Geode Capital Management LLC boosted its holdings in shares of Fcel Energy by 5.3% in the second quarter. Geode Capital Management LLC now owns 5.674 million shares of the energy company's stock, valued at 50.504 million shares, after purchasing an additional 283.453 thousand shares, 283,453 shares during the same period. Finally, Morgan Stanley boosted its holdings in shares of Fcel Energy by 4% in the second quarter. Morgan Stanley now owns 4.09 million shares of the energy company, valued at $36.40 million, after purchasing an additional 156,538 shares during the same period. Hedge funds and other institutional investors now own 40.58% of the company's stock. That's good. At least you're sure that at least 40.58% of the entire float are not going to be tossed around every day. So, but still 60% is still a huge amount. So, but the stability is there. If you hedge funds and finance houses are holding the stock of any company, that's good. That's really good. So, Fcel, it's it's a stock that how would I put it now? It's a good stock. Yes, the fact that institutional investors are involved, yes, makes it worth observing if you're not going to buy it at least. So yes, that was a long one. So it's up 6.36, yes, 6.36 now, challenging the 10-day moving average right now. So let's look at the BITF, Bitf Limited, up 3.72%. Okay, it has broken through all of those short and intermediate moving averages, but it's trying to get support from them now. So let's look at other stocks, SDC, and see what's going on with SDC. Yes, if you just joined us, thank you very much. You can always leave a thumbs up for us if you can. Okay, we have 3 likes. Thank you all very much. Thank you. SDC is up 0.18%, moving sideways. Not very much going on there. Momentum is indicating the stock is totally oversold. At some point, it was almost totally overbought. So just a few minutes ago. So SDC is powered direct up 0.18% in this 1-minute live model of the 18th of October 2021. We don't exactly know if there's any news out there, but there may be some news out there. So let's look at ATER. Ethereum Inc. It's down 0.12%. It's been moving sideways in this pre-market session, and it is just slightly above its oversold territory. Momentum, based on what the momentum is indicating, the RSI is also indicating that there is some weakness as well. Not as bad, based on the relative strength index. So Ethereum Inc. is down 0.12% in this pre-market session. So let's look at CLOV. Clover Health. Clover Health is down 0.51%. Its momentum is quite poor as well. RSI is also indicating some weakness, but not as bad. Yes, thank you very much. If you just joined us, drop a comment. If you want us to have a look at any stock, by all means do so. Like, share, subscribe, super chat, whatever it is. Let's get going. So let's look at CCXI. Chemocentrics up 0.81%, moving sideways, getting support from its, that will be the volume weighted average price right now, but hasn't really done so much. Momentum is indicating the stock, yes, had some momentum, just cooling off from a push upwards. Momentum wise, RSI is also indicating there's still some strength left out, but it hasn't really done so much of date. So Chemocentrics up 0.81%. Let's look at DATS. That chart is down 6.65%, losing momentum and strength as well in this 1-minute live model. It's currently trading below all of its moving averages, not very far from the short and intermediate ones, but significantly distant from the 200-day moving average. And indeed, all of these are based on the 1-minute live model. So the main session, the market will open in about an hour and 16 minutes or thereabout. So let's look at BBIG. Vinco Ventures down 1.09%. It's nothing very much has transpired all through this 1 minute live session. It's just been moving sideways. The underlying trend for this 1 minute model is also bearish for the stock. Momentum is not so wonderful, just holding up above the oversold territory. RSI is okay, still indicating some strength there, but nothing much is going on there for Vinco Ventures BBIG. So let's look at FAMI. Fromi Inc. is let's see, up 4.17%. Okay, it's a cheap penny stock. It's trading at $0.35. Has gained $0.014, a gain of 4.17%. Stock is strongly bullish now, extending and departing visibly away from all of its moving averages. You can see what's going on there. The stock is spiking. The momentum is indicating it's in the oversold territory. RSI is also indicating some serious strength there. So, well, it doesn't mean that there might be some news out there for FAMI stock, but you never know. Let's have a look and see. Okay, let's see whether we can find any news. Okay, there isn't any news that can be relied on, any fresh news as such. So it's up 4.2% in this 1 minute live model. Let's look at the daily model and have a look at what's going on with the stock. Yes, the stock has been moving sideways of late. For some time now, it's been moving sideways. Okay, let's return to the 1 minute model. Okay, it's still holding up at 4.17%. So let's look at ANY. Sphere 3D. Sphere 3D is down 2%, retracing and declining. The underlying trend for this 1 minute model is also bearish, and the medium term trend is also bearish as well. But momentum is holding up. It's indicating that yes, there is a push upwards here. Okay, you can see that at some point it was oversold, and usually when the stock is oversold, then naturally it tends to also react with an upward push or reverse of that, which is so it may not exactly be an oversold case, but at least a reaction to come out of that oversold situation, because market participants are getting involved. They are watching and observing. Once the stock is oversold, it's also an opportunity to get involved. So it's a cycle, So currently it is Sphere 3D up down 1.88%. Momentum is quite strong at roughly 71.43, and the RSI is also just holding up, indicating that there is some strength with ANY stock. So let's look at FLXN. Flexion Therapeutics down 1.48% in this pre-market, but we are not seeing any graphics for the stock. So let's look at SOFI. Yes, if you can help us with a like, that would be good, and thank you very much for joining us. Sophie Technologies Inc. down 0.67%, moving sideways in this pre-market session. At some point it was oversold. It's been oversold a couple of times. This is on three occasions now in this pre-market session, and it has also been overbought three times and oversold twice. So it's a cycle. It's the stock is definitely playing out the cycle of overbought, oversold. Yes, that's what we're seeing right now. Sophie Technologies Inc. down 0.62% in this pre-market session. Is there no stock you want? We can have a look at ADMS. Adamas Pharmaceuticals Inc. Okay. It has lost 0.12% in this pre-market session, but the RSI is indicating that there is some weakness. Momentum is also oversold, indicating the stock is oversold. So there's some weakness with Adamas Pharmaceuticals down 0.12% in this pre-market session. So let's look at USWS, US Wells Services Inc. Up 2.11%, moving sideways. Punch has just converged with all of its moving averages. The underlying trend for this 1 minute model is a bullish one, but on the momentum side it's totally oversold. RSI is also indicating that there is some strength, but not the best, of situations. So US Wells Services Inc. is up 2.11% in this pre-market session of the 18th of October 2021. Let's see what's going on with CEI. CEI is down, so up 4.38%. Has now broken through all of those moving averages. Momentum is improving. Currently overbought at the moment. Yes, momentum and RSI, they're all indicating some strength for Kamba Energy, one of the most active stocks for the last 2 weeks and counting, if not even the third week. It's just been the most active. It just wouldn't go away. Kamba Energy, even with the research that came out that there are a few dodgy things concerning the stock, but of late we've known that whenever you get some of those sort of reports, market participants see that as an opportunity to stick with the stock, see that as an opportunity to fight the researchers who may be short sellers. And that's probably amongst other things what we have with Kamba Energy. It's also a stock that is optionable. You can see a penny stock that is optionable. It's really good. The stock is not going away. So even if it's not just short sellers, the mix of options and the rather what I call it gamma hedges, those sort of things will always keep the stock relevant for a very long time. And that is amongst other things what we're seeing with Kamba Energy. Currently up 4.38% in this pre-market session of the 18th of October 2021. So let's look at PROG. Yes, if you just joined us, thank you very much. Drop a comment, like, share, subscribe, super chat, whatever it is. Let's get going. We're looking at Progenity up 5.14%. I think Progenity may be optionable as well. Momentum is strong for Progenity, and the RSI is indicating that there is some strength and it's improving. Let's see whether Progenity is optionable. Yes, thank you very much. If you just joined us, drop a comment. If you want us to have a look at any stock, we can always do that, but we're covering a diverse range of stocks here in this pre-market session. So we're trying to find out if Progenity is optionable. Let's find out. It's taking some time. Yes, it is optionable. So let's look at it from this direction. Let's get a bigger picture of what's going on with Progenity. It's definitely another penny. Another penny stock that is optionable. They're not going to go away. Any penny stock that is optionable that has been associated with short interest and all that stuff, or research reports concerning any yes, any negativity and all that stuff, they're not just going to go away. They will remain relevant for some time. We're seeing that with CEI. We're also seeing that with Progenity. So we're trying to have a look at the option grid for Progenity. So these will expire on the 19th of, so about 33 days to go. So it's a long time. Open interest, the 250 was the stock trading at right now. It's trading at 225. So it wouldn't be unusual, it wouldn't be out of place to find that the most popular for this November 19 series is the 250. Obviously, market participants are expecting the stock to move into there. They expected it to reach $2.5. So let's even see what's going on. Okay, it's currently trading at 225. Yes, so open interest is 20,530. So let's see whether we can have a look at the Greeks and see what could possibly be what could possibly happen with the stock. So we have a delta of 0.553. so if you multiply this by 100, you get 55.3, and then you multiply that by the open interest. The open interest is 20,530. This is the sort of, which will give you an idea of the sort of share volumes that will be, a sort of initial share volumes that will be involved in any sort of gamma hedges if it begins to take place for Progenity. So if you multiply that 55.3 by 2530, it gives you 1.135 million shares. So the reason why I say this, it's initial, obviously gamma hedges is a continuous exercise. So as the price begins to increase, market, or whoever it is, market makers or even you and I, will begin to hedge. Depending on what your involvement is, depending on whether you want to do so or not. This open interest gives you an idea of the sort of volumes that, sort of initial volumes that will be involved. If gamma hedges begin to increase, or if the stock begins to extend and take off, amongst other things. There are so many other conditions that will warrant that. So, but I'm just trying to point out the implication of having this sort of open interest of 20,530 for the $2 strike. It's 18,194 and more. So Progenity still relevant, penny stock, optionable, in the news, of great interest to a lot of market participants, retail investors. So it's not going away any fast, just like CEI. We'll come back and have a look at the open interest of CEI. So currently Progenity is up 5.14%. So let's look at Fcel Energy, and we'll also have a look at its options. Fcel is up 6.22% in this pre-market session. The market is opening in about an hour and a minute. So the Fcel is now trading below all of its short and intermediate moving averages, but still very far away from its 200-day moving average. That 200-day moving average is upward sloping, indicating that for this 1 minute model, the stock is still, the underlying trend is still very much bullish. So it's totally oversold right now. You can see the fast line of this 14 period stochastic oscillator is right at the bottom, which means it's oversold. The RSI is indicating some weakness as well, so let's see whether we can see anything as it concerns Fcel. Yes, thank you very much. We'll have 4 likes. If you haven't clicked that like button, please do. Let's get going. If you have any comment, if you have any stock you want us to have a look at, let's have a look at them. Okay, so October 22 is the next series for Fcel that will expire soon. So let's see, the stock is trading at, let's see what it's trading at right now. It's trading at 7.8299. okay, let's see, and it closed at 7.39. so the most popular is the 750, I think. So Fcel is not exactly as popular as some of these other stocks, so there isn't really any danger as such, based on this, amongst other things. It's it may not be that popular. It may not be as active as the other ones. Scamba Energy and Progenity, and but yes, it doesn't have to be. Not all stocks are created alike. So Fcel Energy is up 6.09%, currently reliant a lot on the infrastructure deal, which is facing a lot of challenge in the US Congress. So and indeed a lot of the green energy stocks. But we all know very well that Fcel Energy is also held by that of hedge funds and investment houses, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, and a few other ones that are popular. They hold about 40% of its entire float, I believe. So, but it's maybe because they also they have holdings in the stock, it may also keep it a lot more stable, and it may not be of great interest, or rather may not be as popular as some other stocks, because having about 40% of the entire stock held by institutional investors, it means that at least you're sure that 40% of those shares are not going to be traded. Maybe tomorrow or next, they are still going to be around for some time, up to 5 years or thereabout. So that stability is good, but also we have the trend for retail investors is to maybe go for of late in recent months is to go for highly volatile stocks, and Fcel Energy is definitely not one of them. We can see what's going on with the open interests on its most recent the series of options that are expiring pretty soon. There isn't very high volumes there, about 8,000. It's still something. So let's look at BITF. If you're there, thank you very much for joining us. Put a comment there and let's have a look and see what's going on. If there's any stock you want us to have a look at, let's have a look and give you our opinion. Bitfarms is up 3.16% in this pre-market session. The market is opening in about 57 minutes or thereabout. So Bitfarms, yes, it's a Bitcoin mining stock, and we know that Bitcoin has increased by 60%, is it not? Sorry, it's increased to 60,000. Yeah, okay. Well, we saw 61,000 earlier on, so maybe that's why they have cooled off a bit. We saw 61,000, so approximately, yes, 61,000. So at $60,811.2. That's the current price of Bitcoin right now. So let's quickly have a look at Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum 3,734. That's the price of Ethereum. So yes, the point we were trying to make is that Bitfarms, BITF, is it's a Bitcoin mining stock. It's It's up 2.23%. So let's have a look at some other ones. We'll have a look at some other ones, but let's look at the VALN. VLN is a French biotech stock. It's, let's see. Okay, Valneva is up 33.12%. It said its COVID-19 candidate is better than AstraZeneca. So in this 1 minute chart, it is the underlying trend is strongly bullish, but the stock itself is trying to continue its upward push after it retraced slightly. Got support from the 36.84 level. Momentum is holding up just above 50, the 50 mark, and yes, the RSI is also holding up. So Valneva up 33.12%. So let's quickly have a look at Nlst and Netlist. Netlist is unchanged at the moment. We haven't gotten any, there's no data for Netlist. So let's look at the Bitcoin stocks. Hot 8 mining down 1.06%, moving sideways, but momentum is indicating that it is overbought at the moment, and the RSI is also indicating some reasonable amount of strength concerning Hot 8 mining Corp. So, but the underlying trend is okay, just okay. I wouldn't say it's a bearish. Okay, I would just still say it's bullish on this 1 minute model for the stock. So let's look at MARA, Marathon. Marathon is down 0.72. Underlying trend is bullish. Momentum is not so wonderful. I think it's also another Bitcoin mining stock. Let's see whether there's any news concerning Marathon. Okay, there isn't any news, just an analysis on Nasdaq. So is it optionable? Let's see whether Marathon is optionable. It is optionable, but we don't have very high volumes, very high open interests for Marathon. So let's look at Riot. Riot blockchain is up 0.25%, not much, nothing fantastic there. Riot blockchain optionable as well, open interest. Okay, we have some interesting ones here. The $30 strike for this October 22nd. Yes, it has open interest of 10,639. So their market participants are betting that the stock will get to $30 at least before the end of this week. Is there any chance it will get there? Yes, there's a chance. There's a chance it will get there. So let's look at STC. Yes, thank you very much for joining us. If you have any stock you want us to have a look at, just drop the comment there and we'll do so. So we're looking at a series of stocks. Right now we're looking at Smile Direct. It's down 0.36% in this pre-market session of the 18th of October 2021. It's been moving sideways, but the momentum based on its fast line is indicating the stock is totally overbought. The RSI is indicating there is some strength, but the underlying trend on this 1 minute model is a bearish one. Smile Direct is down 0.36%. And obviously it's been on the news for some time now. Let's see if it's optionable. Yes, Smart Direct is optionable. Okay, doesn't have very high, doesn't have as much volumes in the tens of thousands, but you can see that market participants are expecting the stock to extend to $6 based on this, the popularity of this $6 strike of its most of its near to expiry series, the October 22nd series. So SDC is up, down 0.36. So let's look at PROG. I think we have okay, we'll come back to PROG. Let's look at ATER. Ethereum is up 0.12%. Also, the first line of its 14 period slow stochastic oscillator is indicating the stock is totally overbought. The RSI is indicating some strength as well. Let's see if there's option. This ATER is also another popular stock. ATER. Yes, ATER is it's optionable. Yes, and we can see the most popular in this, in the most in the near expiry, in the series that will expire soon. That's the October 19 series. We have that open interest for the $10 strike, which is the most popular, is 12,361. So yes, it's living up to the bill. It's a meme stock. Living up to the bill, has a reasonable amount of open interest there. So it's going to help to keep the stock relevant, but not as much as CEI and probably Progenity. So ATER is up 0.12%. Let's quickly have a look at CLOV. Clover Health is down 0.5%. Underlying trend, I think it's okay. Still, I think it's bearish. I think for this 1 minute model. So let's look at CCXI. Chemocentrics down, sorry, up 1.07%, challenging its bearish 200-day moving average on this 1 minute model. Momentum is indicating the stock is overbought. RSI is indicating a significant amount of strength in the stock, so it's pushing up now, challenging and trying to move up. CCXI up 1.07%. DATS is the next one. If you just joined us, thank you very much. Subscribe, like, share, super chat, whatever it is, drop a comment. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Let's have a look at the stocks you want us to you are watching and see. Okay, so DATS, that charting is down 5.27% in this pre-market session. Momentum is not so wonderful. I think it's probably totally oversold, but the RSI is indicating some strength, holding up. Not so wonderful, but better than being oversold at the moment. So let's see whether that chart has is optionable as well. Yes, if you just joined us, thank you very much. If there's any stock you want us to have a look at, just drop it in the comment box, and we will have a look at them. And we are looking at a series of stocks, So that chart is not optionable, so we'll leave it and look at other ones. But it's currently down 5.27% in this pre-market session. BBIG is the next one. BBIG. Vinco Ventures down 0.97%, moving sideways. Momentum is indicating that there is some momentum there. RSI is also indicating that there is some strength. But the underlying trend for this 1 minute model is a bearish one. Okay, Vinco Ventures is optionable. It's also a meme stock. Let's see whether the volumes live up to the bill. Yes, we can see that they're speculating that they will get up to 850, and we have the open interest for that 850 is 13,037. The next one, the 90 strike, 10,988. But for some reason, those ones are not the most popular. The most popular is the 10 strike, with an open interest of 18,317. That gives you an idea of where market participants are expecting BBIG to get to. And we have an expiry that is coming up on the 22nd, this Friday, 22nd of October. So that gives you an idea of what's going on, and let's have a look and see what the delta for these strikes are, and we'll be able to get an idea of the sort of initial volumes that will be involved in any possible gamma hedges that market participants will be initiating. So we have a gamma of 5.3 for the 850 strike, 4.7 for the 9 strike, and then that $10 strike is 3.67, so not as high as those ones. So I can imagine, amongst other things, that if the stock begins to extend, if suddenly it runs up today or indeed any other session, there might be some impact coming from the option side of things for BBIG. So it's a meme stock. It's not really going away like a lot of other meme stocks, because of the complication that arises from, amongst other things, the gamma squeezes and all that stuff. Not a huge lot, but for many of them. But I think one of the reasons why some of these meme stock have not gone away, Kamba Energy has been there for weeks and weeks and weeks. The most active, it's been there. It is definitely, amongst other things, the fact that it's optional that has kept it relevant for some time now. So let's look at FAMI. Frammy Inc. It's not optionable. Frammy is down. It's up 4.14%, strongly bullish. Just cooled off now. Cooled off, and momentum is really holding up for the stock. It cooled off, but never really threatened to get into oversold territory. Momentum is also holding up. The underlying trend is also bullish. There must be something going on with the stock. Not a lot of gain, 4.14%. Maybe there isn't a huge amount of shares available. Maybe. Well, it may not be the case, but it's just strongly bullish. So ANY stock. Yes, we have 4 likes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Spare 3D down 1.75%, moving sideways. Momentum indicating the stock doesn't have enough momentum. Oversold at the moment. Some amount of weakness in the RSI, but not as bad as you would expect. So Sphere 3D down 1.75% in this pre-market session of the 18th of October 2021. So let's quickly have a look at ADMS. Damas Pharmaceuticals, okay, down 0.12%. Momentum is indicating the stock is oversold. RSI is also indicating some material weakness. So let's look at the USWS. USWS up 1.76, has just dropped down from consolidation and now at $2.82. Momentum is indicating the stock is totally oversold. So too is the RSI, but the underlying trend I think is still very much bullish based on this 1 minute model. So let's see if it's optionable as well. Yes, thank you very much if you just joined us. If there's any stock you want us to have a look at, put it in the comment box. We're looking at a plethora of stocks, and some of them, one of them is CEI, Kamba Energy, definitely the most popular stock or the most active stock of late for weeks now, So we can see what's going on here for Kamba Energy. It's a penny stock that is optionable, a penny stock that is under $2 optionable. You can see, let's have a look at the whole data. You can see October 22 series. The open interest is for this 150 is 6,308. So it's probably going to, there's a good chance it will grow. So, and there, you can see that very cheap, $20 just to expose yourself to one contract, which is 100 shares. So very interesting for market participants. Very interesting. Cost you only $20 to buy. So it's not all the time you see penny stocks, options that you can buy for on the cheap like this. So the stock is not going away. So okay, let's get an idea of what the what the delta is for that. It's not really going to make an impact. It's just for now it's a small open interest, but you never know how things are going to pan out in this session, and indeed future sessions. We still have about 5 whole sessions to go before this series of options expire. So we have delta here. The delta for that 150, I believe, is 0.495. So, and indeed the other ones, so obviously as the stock begins to run up, these deltas begin to increase. So if you multiply this by 100, you get 49.5, and then you multiply by that 6,000, gives you the sort of volumes that market participants may begin to hedge, or to share volumes that they will have to probably either sell or buy. I think in this case it may be a sell or something like that, to hedge their positions, amongst other things. So, and on this side of the delta we have the most popular. Let's see whether we can get the most popular on the put side. But I think the put call ratio is a very small one, obviously, because the put open interest are small. You can see that very scanty here, and much more numerous here. You can see. So they're not very much active on this side of things, and the most popular is that $1 strike. But here on the call side of things, it's the 150. So let's see what's going on live for CEI. Okay, CEI is up 2.19%. It's been moving sideways. Now I'm trading below all of its short and intermediate moving averages on this 1 minute live session. Momentum is oversold, I think, at the moment. And if it's oversold, then it presents an opportunity for market participants to buy. So right now, because naturally when the stock is oversold, then the natural next outcome might be to come out from that oversold situation, and for it to come out from that oversold, and if it does come out from that oversold situation, then it means more buying activity must have gone in. So the quants and the individuals, the humans, are all observing these metrics and indicators, and yeah, especially the quants, they're out there. Some of them may be programmed to buy once it gets into oversold territory, once there's weakness, because once there's weakness, that's when everybody has ignored stock, and it's a quiet time to pick up things. So currently now, Kamba Energy resting at $1.41, a gain of 2.92% in this pre-market session, and the market is opening about 35 minutes or thereabout. So let's look at Progenity. So thank you very much. We have 5 likes, and let's get going. Progenity up 6.07%, overbought right now. So if it's overbought, there's no other way to go. It doesn't mean that it will for sure. It can remain in the oversold territory for a prolonged period of time. Because if it continues to be, if it remains in a bullish trend, it may remain overbought for several sessions, or several minutes or several hours, as the case may be. So now Progenity is on a bullish push, but also the momentum is indicating some weakness. It's just slightly coming off that oversold situation, but still very much in it, still very much in this 1 minute live session. And okay, the RSI is balancing things out, so it's not as oversold as overbought. The RSI is indicating it's not as overbought at the moment, so which is good. It's balancing things out. If the both of them are overbought, then it's just a confirmation that there isn't any ambiguity about that. But right now the RSI is indicating some strength, but not as much strength as what the momentum is indicating. The fast line of its 14 period stochastic oscillator is fluctuating between 100 and 88.33. So that's really bullish. So let's have a look at Fcel energy. Fcel energy is up 5.6%, cooled off, but trying to push up again, has broken through its 10-day moving average, challenging the next one, which will be the 50-day moving average, and trading at a discount to that 50-day moving average and the volume weighted average price. Some market participants, when they see a setup like this, the stock is trading below its 50-day moving average. Sorry, if it's volume weighted average price. For some market participants, this volume weighted average price is also a key indicator to observe. If the market opens, they're looking at it, the stock, it's trading at a discount to this volume weighted average price. Obviously, from the name, you can see it's a price indicator that is also taking into consideration the volume. So they're looking at the stock, it's not anywhere or below that indicator, that price indicator. Then they may say, okay, let me put some money, and they put in some money. And if it does maybe begin to move up and exceeds that volume with the average price, they may take their money off. Or if they've made some money, they'll take money out, and if it never really goes beyond that, they may continue to put money, and until maybe if it exceeds that volume with a weighted average price, they will probably exit the stock and go elsewhere. But who knows how things will pan out, whether it works. It does work for some market participants, but if you're going to get involved with stock, go about it in a way but it's good to, it's not a bad indicator. It's from the name, it's evidently yes, weighs the price against the volume, and then determines the price, and then you see where the stock is relative to that. So currently now the momentum is indicating the stock is probably overbought right now. yes, it's overbought right now. The RSI is also not indicating that, so it's if you're going to combine the two of them, it will give you a picture that is not totally overbought, because the RSI will probably douse that overbought condition that is coming from the momentum, the 14 period slow stochastic oscillator. So Fcel energy of 5.95%. I don't think there's really any news there for Fcel energy. We all know you may have found out that some popular hedge funds are involved in the stock. They own about 40% of its entire float. So yes, it's definitely a sort of stock you can always put your money in, because of their presence should construe some stability, but it's not always the case. The stock has fallen from about $29 and some fraction of about within the last 52 weeks, and so if with that sort of the retracement, you really can't say there's very much stability there, but it's up to you to see what you make of Fcel energy. It's up 6.09%. So let's look at BITF, Bitfarms Limited. So if you just joined us, thank you very much. Bitfarms up 0.37%. It's retracing, cooling off, but underlying trend still remains bullish. Momentum is indicating the stock is oversold, totally oversold, but the RSI is holding up. Obviously, Bitfarms, I believe it's a Bitcoin mining stock, and we know that Bitcoin has still sustained that 60,000 value. Let's have a look and see. Yes, 60,000. It has lost about $800 or $200, I think. At some point, we actually saw it trade at 61,000 in this a few hours ago, about an hour ago. So some of these Bitcoin mining stocks, they're still holding up, still relevant. Bitcoin is pushing up, so it's sustaining them. So before we go on to the other ones, let's look at Valn. It's it's French biotech stock. It has now pushed past its short and intermediate moving averages, and in this case it's still trading at a discount to its volume weighted average price. The news is that its COVID-19 candidate has probably performs better than AstraZeneca's case, so probably market participants felt that was good news, so they have pushed the stock up 34.94%. Overbought right now based on the 14 period slow stochastic oscillator. The RSI is also indicating a reasonable amount of strength there for Valn. So let's look at HUT, Hut 8 mining corp, down 2.78%. A Bitcoin mining stock, but just cooling off a bit, just coming out from the oversold territory. That also includes its RSI as well, so it's definitely oversold in the interim. So let's look at MARA, Marathon Digital Holdings, down 1.74%, cooling off as well, trading at a discount to all of its moving averages, and they're gradually getting bearish. Momentum is indicating the stock is oversold, and so too the RSI as well. The stock is oversold at the moment. Marathon, I believe, is also mining Bitcoin as well. So Riot is the next one. Riot's blockchain. Okay, it's also down 1.26, but not as oversold as Marathon. let's look at PTGX. If there's any stock you want us to have a look at, put it in the comment box and we'll look at it and give you our opinion. Protagonist Therapeutics up 0.9%. FLXN, Flexion Therapeutics. Okay, there isn't any activity there at the moment for those two. SOFI, Sophie Technologies Inc. down 0.93%. Stock is oversold at the moment, and the RSI is indicating some weakness. The underlying trend for this 1 minute model is a bearish one for Sophie Technologies Inc. down 0.93% in this one pre-market session of the 18th of October 2021, and we're looking at the 1 minute live model. This is the closest you can get to what's happening with the stock. So let's return and see what's going on with CEI, Kamba Energy. Okay, 5.11%. It has added some value now. Stock is overbought at the moment based on the 14 period slow stochastic oscillator of this 1 minute live model, and the RSI is also indicating some strength but not overbought. So just cooling off that overbought situation in the coming from the 14 period slow stochastic oscillator. Okay, he has also lost some value now. Okay, fluctuating between 4.3% and 5.11% gain. Yes, underlying trend is bullish, but not as upward sloping as it probably was. It can be, but it's not. But yeah. So let's look at the TATT stock. That's a stock that has been around for some time, and okay, there's no activity here in this pre-market session, but we have some figures here. It's down 0.46. Let's even have a look and see if it's optionable. Okay, it's not optionable. Okay, let's look at the trend for the stock, the chart, the daily model for the stock. So yeah, there was a time, sometime in mid-October, it retraced all the way down to its 52, below its 200-day moving average, I believe. It wasn't a 52-week low event, but yes, since that time it has continued to move up, and then it was oversold. Yes, totally oversold based on the RSI, and also based on the based on the 14 period slow stochastic oscillator. The RSI, yes, was indicating some strength, but stock retracing below its 200-day moving average, and there isn't any material thing wrong with the fundamentals, there's a good chance it will attract the quants and the humans, and they have come in since then. The stock has continued to edge up higher lows and lower highs, so right now it's down 0.46%. In the last session it retraced. Who knows what's going to happen? So right now it's just slightly below its volume weighted average price. So it's also just left the penny stock status at $6.48. So Progenity is the next one. Okay, up 8.41%, extending bullishly, cooling off at the same time. It has a very steep angle of attack. We just hope it would just cool off a bit, and it pulled back, got support from its 10-day moving average. That's good. Okay, even though it's now trying to cool off, trying to fluctuate in below, or rather between that 10 and 20-day moving average, but so far so good. It has cooled off. a steep angle of attack, that ensure that it never really broke through that 10-day moving average. So that was a very decent push up, and that's cooling off now, as one would expect, and holding up. And the RSI is also indicating it has cooled off as well, so it's good. We just hope that it will, for those who are involved, who are keen on it, that it doesn't bottom out, especially those who have positions there. They'll be glad it is doing this, up 8.88%. There might be some news out there, but we haven't found any. It's pushing up again, holding up, and trying to continue that upward push it had a few minutes ago. So now at 9.35% progeny. So let's look at SDC. SDC down 0.36%. Okay, let's look at NTRB. Yes, if you just joined us, thank you very much. Nutri brand is down 3.65%, totally oversold at the moment. RSI is also validating the same thing. So based on this 1 minute live model, it is oversold. There's a good chance that it may pull out from this situation and may begin to extend. But at the same time, that is not a guarantee. It may continue to retrace further. We don't have any news concerning the stock. So let's keep it at CEI, Canberra Energy, up 4.38%. So while we're here, we can try and see whether we can find what's going on in the pre-market session. Okay, ADMP. Okay, that's another Adamis Pharmaceuticals penny stock. It's on the move, active, ion geophysical. Okay, it's seeing heavy volumes as well. CI still relevant, 6.1 million. Progeny still relevant. Fcel still relevant. Okay. Okay, let's look at ADMP. Adamis Pharmaceuticals. it's up 23.89%. Yes, and trading in between it's just above its 10-day moving average, or rather just up, has bunched up with its 10 and 20-day moving average, and also above its 50-day moving average. The underlying trend is a bullish one. The momentum has cooled off a bit. The RSI is also indicating that there is some strength, hasn't been oversold. So yes, it didn't spike suddenly when the pre-market opened. Just a few minutes thereafter, it spiked and extended nicely with a very decent or a very steep angle of attack, but cooled off, pulled back all the way below all of its moving averages, but has now broken through all of them now, and is with the 10 and 20-day moving average. There might be some news out there. Let's see if we can find out. ADMPS. Okay, 34 million has crossed the tape. Let's see if there's any news. Okay, Adamis Pharma announces that the US FDA has approved Adamis ZIMHI 5 milligram per 0.5 ml product. Okay, receives FDA approvals. So all of these are coming out today. Amongst other things, that is what's behind this push from Adamis. Okay, Adamis announces that ZIMHI is a high-dose naloxone injection product, FDA approved for use in treatment of opioid overdose. Okay, so it's a penny stock as well, isn't it? Yes, a penny. Yes, a penny stock. Let's bring this to the annual, rather 52-week. Okay, so since May or June, it's been moving sideways. So even in the last session, it was up. It's been extending for some time now, since the 8th of October. It's been extending. Let's update this to today, the 18th. So it's trading at $1.4, 23.89% gain. So there's no guarantee that when the regular session resumes, that it will continue to extend. There's no guarantee. So let's see if it's also optionable. Okay, we have left that page, but if not that, we can still go there. We can find out from here if it's optionable. So the market is opening in about 11 minutes or thereabouts. I think it's optionable as well. So well, it's a stock. It's a relevant stock. it's penny stock, and it is also optionable. So yeah, you can see before now can okay, look at this, November 19th, that's when it's going to expire, and it has you can just, it's going to cost you $15 to buy one contract, and this is not in the money yet, you know, with this 23% gain. Okay, let's see, it has gained $0.29. We'll get an idea of what the delta on that stock is. ADMP. Okay, so we have okay, an open interest of 1,750 for this 150 strike. So let's look at the gamma. So let's look at the Greeks and see what the delta is saying there. Delta is 0.39. That is the value it will increase by when if the stock gains by $1. So it's currently at 0.39. It's gained about $0.3. So divide that 0.39 by 3. It will give you an idea of where the $0.391 divided by 3, okay, 0.130. So that will give you an idea of how much the option would have increased by given this 23% gain. So 0.139, let's return and see what the price will be right now. Okay, 0.139, that will put it at, okay, roughly 0.14. It will be at 0.29. That will be the current price of this call contract. Still cheap, 20, roughly $30 to buy one contract. Okay, but we have a bigger volume, bigger open interest on the December 17th. You can see that 13,937. Yeah, it's, for some reason those ones are more popular. The most popular, yes, seems to be this December 17th. So, and they're still cheap as well, but they wouldn't be as volatile as these ones. This is the November 19 ones. Yes, if you just joined us, we're looking at ADMP, probably currently the most active stock right now in the markets, up 25.66%. I think it's one of its drugs was approved by the FDA, a drug that will be used for treating opioid addiction, and yeah, that's what's going on now. The underlying trend is a bullish one. The stock is resuming its bullish push based on this 1-minute live model. Okay, so Adamis is one of the stocks in the move at the moment. So Let's keep finding out the ones that are on the move at the moment. I think the next one is Ion Geophysical rather. Ion Geophysical, IO. So the market is opening in about 5 minutes or on some fractions. So Ion is also a penny stock, up 44.6%. But there's no guarantee that it will extend in this session, in this main session. It's the underlying trend is a bullish one. The stock has pulled up, getting support from its volume weighted average price, challenging that average price as well. Has broken through. The other moving averages are sloping downwards. It's trying to come out from the oversold territory, probably trying to reassert itself. Usually, when the stock enters into the oversold territory, the next natural outcome is for it to come out, because there isn't any other place it can go. So it's pushing up now and improving. Momentum is improving. RSI is holding up, but not so well. The figure's not so wonderful. It's gaining, adding some value. Ion Geophysical. Let's see whether there's any news concerning the stock. So the market is opening in about 4 minutes now. I don't think there's any news. Okay, it's one of the stocks definitely on the move. Okay, there's some news there. Ion announces preliminary third quarter 2021 revenue of $44 to $45 million, an increase of 125% sequentially, driven by 3D strategy. Okay, it announced the company expects third quarter 2021 revenues to be in the range of $44 to $45 million, an increase of approximately 125% sequentially and 175% from the third quarter of 2020. In addition, the company expects to report a third quarter 2021 adjusted EBITDA in the range of $21 to $22 million at quarter end. The company's total liquidity improved to approximately $35 million, comprised of $24 million of cash, including net revolver borrowings of $19 million and $11 million of remaining available borrowing capacity under the revolving credit facility, bolstered by the third fully underwritten phase of the company's Mid-North Sea High 3D multi-client program that launched in September. And in exploration and production technology and services backlog is estimated to be $12 million. Q3 revenue increased significantly, consistent with the expectations of momentum building as the year progresses, says their CEO, Chris Usher. Okay, so that's some good fundamentals there for IO and stock. Up 41.73%, currently now retracing and cooling off, trading at a discount to the volume weighted average price and the short and intermediate moving averages, but still at a premium to its 200-day moving average. The stock ran up this huge gain, probably this when they got the news, and this pre-market began to escape, reached 2.17, rather $2.18. But right now the momentum is very poor, so oversold at the moment. RSI is also indicating that is the case as well. So let's see if the stock is optionable. If it's optionable, then it might get sticky today as well for it. If you just joined us, thank you very much. All right, Jimmy. Yes, we'll definitely update you with Prog. Okay, so the market is opening very soon. Just let's quickly find out what's going on with this IO stock. The market is opening in a few minutes, in a few seconds. We want to find out if ION geophysical or geophysical is optionable. It is definitely optionable, yes. So that's going to be very interesting, very interesting. So the market has opened right now. So yes, it's okay. As promised, let's quickly get back and see what's going on. The market has opened, so let's uncheck this pre-market. We are in the main thing right now. Everybody is available. Everybody can now access the market and buy and sell. So let's look at Progeny 4 and see what's going on there. Prog. Okay, Progeny up 10 point. Okay, it has departed. It has suddenly now taken off. Added some 2% on subtraction and is moving strongly overbought right now. Everything's overbought. RSI is overbought. You know, this is the 1 minute live model. This is what's going on right now live. 387,000. We're talking about the volumes. 412,000, 431,000, 500, 648,000. It's increasing. 799,000. 1 million people are lumping in money and throwing money at Progeny. It is just departing, and you know, has left this stratosphere, I believe. 1.2 million, 1.315 million. The volume is astronomical right now. RSI very strong, momentum very strong. Name it, it's got it right now. Progeny is on the move. Volume is escaping and mounting on itself. People are forcing out sellers. This is no country for sellers right now. Progeny is no country for sellers. The buyers have just muscled them out. There's no room for them, but it's cooling off a bit. A few, maybe some of those early birds that got involved in pre-market may be taking their money out, but those who didn't get involved are probably watching. If they are willing enough, they can send this stock even higher than it has gotten. Yes, Progeny. Still pulling back, but not even okay, just slightly above its volume weighted average price right now. Momentum is still very strong based on the 14 period slow stochastic oscillator. The fast line is okay, just cool off a bit. Crossed its slow line. There's no indication it's cooling off. RSI is still strong in the overbought territory. Is it going to continue to push up? It's cooling off now. Progeny up 10 point, or rather 9.9% in this pre-market, in this session of the 18th of October 2021. There might be some news out there, but we haven't found out. So it's cooling off now. Cooling off. I mean, this is expected. It's got into the oversold territory, and you would expect that this is what's going to happen. Probably some more muscular sellers got involved and just knocked off a few buyers who were there, who weren't holding the ground very well, but it's still holding out at $2.36 right now. And I think some of the buyers are still there, or are still trying to come in, and flush out those sellers. You can see it's there. They're coming in. You can see that pushing up now, 12.14%, pushing out, pushing up. Okay, the highest it has reached so far is about 2.411. It's pushing up, pushing up. Progeny pushing up, challenging, and yes, it has departed again, broken to a new level in this session. 13.08%. This is a new high for this session. A new high, and extending 13.55. They are fighting here, man. On their way to the moon. The sellers are trying to get involved. They are knocking them off, sending them down to earth. This is no country for sellers. This is all country for those who want to go to the moon. Prog stock extending and making sure the sellers don't come in here. But sellers are still finding their way, and they're still there. They're still, still relevant. They have very sharp implements, and they are slashing out sellers who are not convinced. They're slashing out buyers who are not convinced. They're making sure they don't come in. It's a brutal assault, but there's every chance this stock will go up there. It's optionable. Yes, we need more likes. We need more likes. Let's get going. 12.85% is the gain at the moment. Strongly bullish. Everything is totally overbought right now. Totally overbought. And those who are there, I think not very many of them want to sell. They are not selling right now. The borrowers and short sellers have to go and find it elsewhere. But indeed, yes, there are sellers who are standing by the door that can easily open and fall out. And yeah, I believe they're called them paper hands. But Progeny up 12.85, still higher than this. Is still the highest it has reached in this session of the 18th of October. Still the highest. Still early days in this session. Still early days. Trading okay, cooling off now. Cooling off. It's gonna fall right on top of its fallen weighted average price. Has just fallen on top of it now. But at the same time, by doing so, it also creates an opportunity, because some quants and indeed some humans believe that anytime the stock has broken below its volume weighted average price, it's an indication that yes, it has cooled off a bit. It is trading at a discount. Maybe I might get involved. So you never know. They may still come in and push it up again, and even further than it has ever gone. Progeny up 11.5%. Yes, the fight is on. The onslaught is on. It's strongly bullish. The resolve is to take the stock higher, higher and higher. That is what we're seeing here. Cool off below its 10-day, so its volume weighted average price, but it's still holding up and even trying to even go higher. The gain is now 11.92%. It's totally overbought right now. So let's have a look at the daily model and see what's going on there. We have been looking at the 1 minute model. So while we're at it, it's pulling off. It's cooling down a bit. So let's look at the daily model. A much more bigger picture, but not exactly what's totally going on right now. Let's look at this daily model. Okay, that's the daily model. The underlying trend for the stock is a bearish one. Okay, on the daily model, it's resting just on its own weighted average price. So, and it's also overbought. So at the same time, the RSI and the 14 period slow stochastics they're all overbought. So you have to bear that in mind. There's every chance you might retrace. There's a tendency. There's a risk that it will pull back because it's overbought right now. But at the same time as well, we can see on this daily model it is not trading at a premium. It is just where the volume weighted average price. So it's a good price. It's a good price. Even though it could be better. If it were lower, then it could be better. But this is not all. It's not a total picture. It's just one of the many pictures. So getting support now from the 10-day moving average because of the time decay now, because of the fact that it's been consolidating. The 10-day moving average has caught up with it, now trading below that 10-day moving average, and also below the volume weighted average price. But momentum is still indicating it's still overbought. RSI is still holding up at 74, still overbought conditions, but in a cooled off state within that territory. So we're looking at volumes. Before we were looking at millions of shares going in. Right now we're looking at 105,000, 109, 110,000, 121,000. I think some of them are. I think they are probably mostly buy volumes. 229, 265,000, 279,000, 281,000, 282,000. This is what's going on right now. Live right now for PROG. It has escaped now again. This is a new high for this session. 13.56%. Volumes are approaching 1 million, 1.53, 1.76, 1.1, 1.25 million. It's they have made sure that those sellers who are on board the ship are not going to do anything. They're just making sure they're going to remain impotent right now. That's what we're seeing. Okay, but volumes are dropping. Volumes are dropping right now, but still overbought. Still overbought right now. Still overbought. It's still at the highest for this session. Still okay, just has cooled off from the highest of this session right now. But obviously this is the 1 minute model, so what it's going to print out is not what it's going to print out in other models. The daily model may not even reflect this sort of things because it's a bigger picture, and the 5 minute model may not reflect what we're looking at right now. So the gain is now 13.09%, challenging that that high of this session. So I think the interest is there, the conviction is there to continue to push the stock up. So that's what we are looking at right now. I can imagine on the options things are improving. Market makers are scrambling and are hedging, and they could also be involved. They could also be some of the folks who are pushing the volumes up. You can see the volumes are increasing now. 433,000. Okay, 535, 544, pushing up and pushing up. It's at a new high for this session. We have 5 likes over there. Let's make it 6 and let's get going. You can see the gain is now 14.41% and extending. New high for this session and extending. Volume is increasing again. 738,000, 764,000, 815,000, 834,000. It's increasing. This is no country. This is no spaceship for sellers. Buyers are making sure they are not coming in here. So the market is 14 minutes old right now, 178,000. Okay, when a volume drops, it's usually a tendency that a likelihood that sellers are involved. 525,000. It's pulling back now. Try to get support from its 10-day moving average. Progenity up 12.85% in this session of the 18th of October. Cooled off from its high of about 2.45. What's that? 2.4478. Relentlessly, the battle is on there. Okay, it has just cooled off now below just getting support from its 10-day moving average. Okay, yes, you can see the momentum is cooling off significantly now. Yeah, but the RSI is not reflecting that much. Okay, so thank you all very much. We have to take a break. We'll come back and we'll continue to update you on Progenity and indeed in all the other stocks we've been covering. And thank you.